Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are in an aircraft carrier. But not just any aircraft carrier. The Hakuru. Legendary tier Japanese aircraft carrier. Now before today I had never taken this aircraft carrier out. Not once. Ever. But, you know, today's been spicy for aircraft carriers, so I thought, why not? Now, I don't want to harp on the developers who wanted to shake things up, make things fresh. I get that. I don't want to beat on the bush, but how the f did this get into the freaking live version of the game without anybody saying in testing, this is stupid? I'm sorry, you need to figure out better testers, clearly. Because if they're not telling you this stuff is stupid beforehand, they're not testing this stuff. Plain and simple. So if you're not going to test things and you're just going to drop it out there and hope for the best and screw everything up for at minimum 6 weeks, unless you do some sort of hot patch, which is very unlikely when it comes to balance changes, then we get to sit here and deal with the most busted carriers World of Warships Legends has ever seen. These are starting to creep up on the scale of the PC carriers at this point. That's how bad these are right now. And by bad, I mean these are just busted. So right off the bat, we don't care about AA anymore. Plain and simple. We don't ever lose our planes. Like, yeah, oh, they shoot some planes down, big deal. I just print more. They just never end. There's just always planes. Planes everywhere. As far as the eye can see. Planes all over the place. We got Oprah on board dishing out planes for us. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to drop that on the Hakuru. Not that it would have done anything, because we can't pen the Hakuru with HE bombs. But we might have gotten a fire, triggered one of his damage cons, and maybe that would have led to something down the road. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, we actually have a special guest in this lobby. We ran into Big B. He's in a destroyer. And between the two of us, we're the only ones capable of thinking and breathing on this team. Shocker. Who could have seen that coming? Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I have had a rough day. I don't think I've won probably 30% of my games today because I've been playing nothing but carriers. And it's not because I'm doing poorly in carriers. Let's put that out there. I've been averaging like 119,000, 120,000 damage in my carrier, which is absurd for me because I am the self-proclaimed worst carrier commander on the planet. Right? Like, we don't beat around the bush around here. I tell you how it is. I suck in carriers. And I don't mind being that bad in carriers because I don't play them. But when you get an event like this, and I say event because I hope to God this isn't what the final version of Carriers 2.0 looks like. Maybe we get a Carriers 2.1 next week. Who knows? But this is absurd. I mean, we're doing 30 to 40k drops with torpedoes if we land all four torps. That is absurd. And that's not including any floods that we might get. Now, I have had several games brushing up on 200k damage, and that is nothing. Nothing compared to what some of y'all are getting out there. I've seen the battle reports. Lord have mercy. I have seen people hitting almost 500k in a carrier today. If that doesn't make wargaming shudder and realize just how stupid carriers are right now, I don't know what to tell them. I don't. Now, I haven't had that privilege because my teams have sucked all freaking day. Period. Just end of the story. They have. They've been awful. But I've also run into a lot of AA today because I didn't get in early enough in carriers, and so I ran into all the people that are running AA builds now and running full divisions of AA stuff. But yeah, doesn't matter. I'm still out here shredding people. Like, don't get it twisted, okay, folks? Just because I'm out here, I just got to give a shout out to this Des Moines here. This Des Moines absolutely plays our entire team. Plays me, plays everybody. This Des Moines goes absolutely ham in one of the most ridiculous XP games I've ever seen. How much of that was due to him shooting down planes because I'm like trying to like warp everybody around him? I'll let you guys decide. But yeah, this Des Moines is cracked. But you'll see that later on. But we get some more torps away, and we're going to try to get the perma flood on the curve first. And we got it. Beautiful. We landed 2 more torps. We're at 69,000. Nice. We bring out our HE bombs. Now watch what this Des Moines does here. I want to go for the Des Moines on this one because he's just kind of sitting here. He's kind of begging for it. So as I push towards him, He's got propulsion mod on, and he's going to throw that thing in reverse just as I get ready to start my attack, and that's going to f me completely. And yeah, I can't get close enough to him because he's faster at reversing than I am at flying forward. Imagine that. Crazy. But yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do anything with that drop. And I hate dive bombers in this game. I can't stand them, man. The amount of times that I've had drops lined up and go to hit the button and the drop doesn't drop, and then it just cancels the thing because the timer is stupid. I think there is something wrong with the timer on bomb drops, that if you get close to like the like half a second mark, it refuses to drop the bomb. Which is stupid, because you're supposed to have until 0 to drop the bombs. But I've clicked the freaking thing several times and watched my stuff just do absolutely nothing. But this time, he's going reverse. We planned for it. We're going to get a much better look at him. And we've got this guy lined up and dropping the bombs. Bonk. Much better. 5 full pins, we'll take that. And a fire. But we're going to swing around. We're going to go for the battleship now. Yamato is here. He's the easiest target, and I want to get these bombs away before we lose our planes. And unfortunately, that is not going to be the case. Again, the amount of AA that I've run into today is absurd. There's never been this much AA in the game, and I understand why people are doing it, because it's the only hope that you have. And even then, you got to pray that other people stay close to you. Right now, we have what I'm calling the cuddle tactic, which is where everybody just hides together and hopes to God the carrier doesn't come for them. And it is very effective at keeping the carrier away, at least for a moment. As soon as you guys split up, you're just going to get murdered anyway. Plus, while you're all cuddled together, guess who's sneaking around the border and about to torp you in oblivion? The 5 goddamn destroyers that are on the enemy team. Usually. So here we get some torpedoes away, and watch this torp strike on this Yamato. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Only 2. But we did get a flood, and now we're going to double back. And he can't really dodge these ones, so we are going to get just the easiest drop on the planet. It's hard to try to make an entertaining commentary out of freaking carrier gameplay. I'm sorry. It is so goddamn boring. And this is why I don't play it. This is why I don't bother even trying. Now, you'll notice that I start coming over towards the right, because the left side is starting to fold. So I'm like, oh, I go over to the right, try to help these guys out. And no sooner I try to do this, my team on the right folds like a freaking wet paper towel. Like, I don't understand it. So I'm stuck. I don't have a way. I have a Des Moines pushing up on one side, and he's going to kick the butt of everybody on this side somehow. Despite just being a Des Moines, these guys are going to throw against him. I don't understand it either. But it is what it is. You can see I've got my bombs ready. I'm going to go try to hit him if I can. It's not the ideal angle for a drop, but he is kind of turning into it, so we'll see what we can get out of it. Drop, and we get a fire. Hey, we'll take that. Every little bit counts, right? We get the fire, get him to damage con. We're going to go ahead and switch back to the torpedoes, and that's when I noticed that everybody on this side is starting to push around the corner, so I need to try to help. And Montana goes down. As much as I want to keep going after the Des Moines and the other cruiser out there, there is a Mino in the cap. So instead, I'm going to try to go after him. My cruiser and my battleship are telling me to get back right now because they know that their side's folding like a wet paper sack, but I don't have anywhere to go. There's a Des Moines on one side and there's a whole team on the other. There's nowhere for me. So I'm just basically stuck in limbo here trying to like hold on and do as much as I can for the team. I got 144,000 damage and we still have over half the enemy team left because our team just can't do anything. They can't. So we take down the Mino. That saves the B cap. That gives us a chance, right? Because right now they're winning on points, but I'm trying real hard, guys. We're going to go out here. We're going to try to get rid of the Napoli and the Conqueror as well. Try to solidify a flank, but of course they're going to start shooting me because, again, I'm too close. Because my team just folds like a wet paper towel on both sides of the map. How can you lose both flanks? I'm sorry. Like, I got nothing good to say about it. If you lose both flanks in a match, that's absurd. But we get a good drop here on the Napoli. He's low health. And then I swing around, and instead of going for the Napoli, I go for the Conqueror here. And you can see I'm actually trying to turn my auto fly on, or whatever you want to call it, the auto drive, the autopilot, whatever you want to call it. We're going to turn that on, try to get out of the way, so that kind of ruins my drop on the Conqueror. Now, obviously, Zao should be killing this freaking Napoli right now. That's what the Zao should be doing. He has no hit points. All the Zao has to do is land a couple of shells on this Napoli, and he takes him out, right? That's what should be happening right now. But instead, the Napoli has all day to just sit here and try to, like, dodge my stuff because the Zao refuses to take a shot at him. I don't know why. Just the way it is. Oh, that's because the Zao's actually shooting the Conqueror. Because of course he is. Why not shoot the guy that's got all the hit points when you can shoot somebody and get them off the map and keep your teammates alive? But we get a good rotation off of the Napoli drop, and then we drop on the Conqueror. I've already started trying to turn away. We are going to take a torpedo here as well. Fortunately, it wasn't a flood. We ended up getting our high caliber, 172,000 damage right now. And Napoli's still here, but fortunately the Zao, or actually it's not Zao, it's actually Big B finally deciding to shoot the Napoli instead of the Zao. But between the two of them, they are going to eventually kill this freaking Napoli, which is what they should have done a long time ago. The Conqueror ain't going anywhere. We can always kill the Conqueror. Right? So why not focus the guy that's low health and get rid of him, and then move to the Conqueror? Do you think that guy's going to lose 40,000 hit points in a Conqueror that quickly? Maybe. But I would much rather everybody stay alive and have a chance to win. So here you can see I'm trying to come in. I actually triggered this a little bit too early, unfortunately. And there's one of those drops that I tell you about where I actually hit the button at half a second. Because I'm staring at the timer. This has happened to me so many times today, it's stupid. But I'm staring at the timer and I'm clicking the button at a half a second and it refuses to drop. It is infuriating. My neighbors probably think I'm crazy. As many times as it's happened today, and I just lost it because it drives me freaking nuts. But we get what we needed. We take him out. Now it's a 3v3. We are the only one with a destroyer right now. Keep that in mind. We are the only one with a destroyer. But unfortunately, our Zao is about to get himself killed. Des Moines is right here coming in to try to do what he's got to do, and I've already started backtracking again, so I'm running right back into the Des Moines. Like, it's a mess. Zao goes down, of course. Doesn't manage to get any torpedoes away, I don't think. But we're going to try to get in here and do some damage to the Des Moines. I'm going to be dead. I already know. So we get a drop away, trying to get some corpse into him, and then we're going to swing back around. I know the guy's going to likely stick close to the island, so what I'm going to try to do is come in at an angle. You can see we do trigger a flood there, which means he's just DC'd. So we need to try to get another one if we can. And so I'm going to try to wrap these around the island if I can. I know one of them's probably going to hit the island, but the other one shouldn't. And unfortunately, it's just not quite enough. But he does take a couple of more torpedoes. Unfortunately, they are not able to cause a flood, which is really, really unfortunate. But what you've just witnessed is my best game in the Hakuru yet. 183,000 damage, and if I can get into a match where I might actually get to use this thing while it's still this broken against a bunch of people that aren't playing like, you know, AA people, then maybe I'll have a little bit more damage game for you guys. But I don't plan on playing this a lot. I just wanted to showcase just how stupid these things are right now. Like, if you've ever thought about playing a carrier, jump in a carrier right now. It's the most fun you're going to have in a carrier. I guarantee it. And they will get nerfed very soon. I'm certain of it. If they last the whole 6 weeks, I'd be impressed. I would expect a hotfix at some point to be like, okay, we went a little bit too spicy. We hear your feedback, because the entire community is losing it right now. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. I know you CV mains out there, you dirty scoundrels, you guys are having a blast. For the rest of us, it's frickin' toxic-ish, okay? So let us know. I want to know what your thoughts are on the new Carrier 2.0. I'm interested. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.